Hey friends, Namaste. You, me, we all are living in an era, in an age of nuclear families. Nuclear family that we understand are the two, wife and husband, living with their children. If the older ones, the grandparents, the grandfather or the grandmother, what we call three generations live together, we call it a joint family. I was surprised to find in most of the preschools curriculum it is mentioned that nuclear family is a successful family. However, we have to go and look into the reality. We all accept few decades ago we used to live jointly. In fact, one of my very close friend, my senior friend, Dr. Ramesh Gupta, who happened to be a cardiologist in America, he defined family in a very unique way. He said, if the father and son are working together, are taking decisions together, after the son has grown up and is earning himself, then it is called a family. However, nuclear family is not that. And the reality today is that parents or grandparents are not living with this nuclear family. They may be enjoying a lot of good relationships, but due to many reasons, many factors, like people have to travel for jobs to other places, the coexistence of three generations, the coexistence of siblings who have grown up and have families are seen very less today. It was not so few decades ago. People used to live together, and we all know that somehow those families used to be successful families. Of course, the conditions then and conditions now are different. The work environment now are different. The culture, the technology, the lifestyle, everything has changed. But in the journey of this change, we must not forget that the core purpose of human existence and the core values of human behavior have never changed. Today, although we say that or we teach children or we believe that nuclear family is a success, but we are seeing more divorces than we have seen it ever. We are seeing more wars between two brothers for property or for any other reason. The mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law are not ready to live together. The Sas Bahu are not ready to live together. Men and women are trying to compete with each other. Particularly, the woman aspect has been made to believe that they are not less than men. There is a big gap between the rich and the poor, the white and the black. I don't know, or you don't know, what was the difference or what was the gap between Brahmin and the Shudra few centuries ago. All we know is through the books. But in all these, there is a common aspect on which we all have agreed and we all have taken a journey to. And that common aspect or that common element is the term equality. So, wife is trying and competing hard to be equal to the husband. Woman, or the idea of feminism, is to make a woman believe that they are equal to men. The younger brother believes it very hard that he is equal to the elder. We all have agreed to this term of equality, and we all are trying hard to achieve this. How far this is correct? We'll try to understand it through a very simple mathematical equation. We'll take a very simple equation, A plus B equal to C. We'll call it the simplest equation of life. We'll try to map our life, our relationships in this equation. However, before we do that, we'll try to understand what this equation means to us. Simply in mathematical terms. We know A, B and C are operands. The value of C is dependent on the values of A and B and the operator between them. If it is plus, the value of C will be more than if it is minus. A and B are operands. Plus, minus or equal to are operators. What we have to note over there, that what is the role of equal to or equality in this equation? How does it impact on the value of any of these operands? It actually doesn't. The role that it plays in this equation is that it divides these operands into two parts, that is the left hand side and the right hand side. The first role that equality in this equation plays is that it divides, and the second role that it plays is that it demands a balance between the two sides. What we have to understand from this equation now is that if we put ourselves as A and B, two relations, two people who want to enter into a relationship. So, A is a person 1 and B is a person, another person. A may be husband, B may be wife. Equal to is not between them. Equal to sits in a position where it is asking those two people to create an output. See, what is that relationship that you want to achieve by coming together? If you are two enemies, then the outcome should be either of you 1 or 0, or a reduced value of either of you, which means the operator between you will always be minus. But if you are not enemies, you are friends. If you want to enter into a positive relationship, the operator must be plus. So the operator between two person is not equal to. The operator between two person is this integrity, plus. And the value of C is what we have to define by coming together. What we have done, we have forgotten about this plus. We have forgotten about this C. We have pulled this equal to and put it between two people. The most neglected part of the equation is this symbol plus. And the most forgotten part of this equation A plus B equal to C is this operand C, is its output C. When two people come together, there is an output. What is that? We have to look into that. Let's do a simple exercise. How many of you can actually fill the value of C on this slide? So if wife plus husband equal to what? Elder brother plus younger brother equal to what? Sas plus bahu equal to what? A man plus a woman equal to what? Rich plus poor equal to what? White plus black equal to what? Brahmin plus Shudra equal to what? If we try to do this equation, we will realize that we really don't understand C. Understanding C is very important. Unless we have this clarity of the goal that we want to achieve by coming together, we will never understand what two people are. And the equality will continue to play the role of division, not the role of integrity. And that is what equality had been doing in our life. We have always put ourselves on the other side of equality. Instead of being on the same side of equality and putting the purpose on the other side. This is the biggest mistake in which the whole society, each one of have engaged into. And the resultant is a wife is breaking from the husband, a brother is breaking from his brother, Sas is breaking from Bahu, a father is breaking from the son, a family is getting divided. And we have to address this issue as soon as possible if we want to see the coming generation to be living together as friends, as brothers, valuing human and relationships. What are those aspects that they have to look into? Having understood the role of equality, that it should not sit between two people, it should not sit between man and woman, it should not sit between husband and wife, it has to sit on the other side where a purpose is defined. And between these two people, there must be a plus sign in integrity. What are the roles? What are those roles of integrity? Since we have put equality in between, we have forgotten that plus. Instead, most of us have fallen down into the symbol opposite to plus, that is minus. Let's see that. If you all agree, most of our personality has no control over anger. We have a lot of desires to be fulfilled. Lust for so many things exist in us. We have envy for our relatives, friends, colleagues. No doubt, we have a lot of arrogance and ego, particularly when we are earning. You cannot reject that we all have grown too selfish. We can spend thousands for our enjoyment, but it becomes so hard for us to spend a penny for those who need it. a friend in help will never find us coming forward to share few thousand rupees. This is the part of our existence today. We have to accept it. We are like that now. These are the aspects you can see in the slide. These are the aspect which is carried by the symbol minus in the equation of life, that sits between two people who are believing that they are playing the role of equality. They are searching the idea of equality. Actually, they are practicing this idea of minus in the search of equality. And you can very clearly see the other part. What are the integrating factors of between two people? Tolerance. Every two person is completely different in all aspect. Whatever may be our expectations or outlook of a particular person, he or she is different than us. Are we ready to tolerate those differences? None of us are complete. We never look towards our mistake, but we always are ready to never forgive others' mistake. We keep that in mind. But can we forgive? If we forgive, relationship continues. It becomes healthier. If the relationship is healthier, truth survives. We don't fear to tell truth to the person with whom we are integrated. It is said that service to man is service to God. We are looking for this service on roads. We are not doing this at home. The culture of our country had always been seva and samarpan at home first. Charity begins at home. If we are not doing at home, we are ready to spend thousands of rupees behind dogs, and we are keeping our older parents in old age homes. Talking about service is a big hypocrisy. Service, seva, is followed by samarpan. We have to, if you look into these ideas that integrates, that is mentioned in the slides, only few of them are mentioned. You will find this is what used to be called as Dharma in our country. Unfortunately, the religions that came from West had a completely different idea, obviously looking for equality. What we are will make you that, so that we are equal. That is what is the idea of religion was or is. That is not dharma. We have seen equality divides. Equality splits people from people. But dharma are these terms in the slide that you see that integrates. That is what is defined in Manusmriti or any of the literature you look into our Shastra. The definition of dharma: Triti, Shama, Damo, Asteyam, Shaucham, Indriya Nigra, Dehi, Vidya, Satyam, Makrodha, Dharma Lakshanam. These are the symptoms of dharma that integrates people to people. This is just one section in the book Dharma Unfolded that have tried to write down for the generations to come to understand what is dharma as it was defined and put forth by our ancient rishis, as it is told in our scriptures, and how it can help humanity and human values to evolve again. For other sections of the book, I will present a different video. Thank you for listening me, and I wish the generations to understand that equality is not the idea on which human will integrate with another human. It has to be integrity, and equality must be sitting in between two people and the purpose of coming together. Thank you once again.